below gives the coordinates of 5 points shown in the scatter plot. It says the scatter plots show 2 different lines. So they've sketched out these points. These ones are the x variables, and then these ones are the y's. And then they've sketched out 2 different lines through those sets of points as a way to determine which line is a better fit for our data. In this table, in part A, we're going to write down all of the independent variables, which are 20, 22, 25, 31, and 40. And the observed responses are the ones that we already saw in the table. So 27, 21, 24, 18, and 12. For the response predicted by line 1, we are going to use the equation from that first line, which is right here. Negative 0.9x plus 45. And then for this second one, we're going to use the negative 0.7x plus 40. We are going to plug these values, the independent variables, into the x positions of both of these equations. We should get different numbers for both because our equations are different. There may be 1 or 2 that are the same, but for the most part, they should all be different. For that first one, we're going to take negative 0.9 and multiply it by 20, and then add the 45 to it, which gives us 27. Then in the second one, we're going to take negative 0.7 and times it by 20 and add 40. And just like we expected, those will come out different. Then we're going to go back and we're going to plug in 22 into that x value. So negative 0.9 times 22 and then add 45. And then we're going to take that 22 and stick it over here again. Negative 0.7 times 22 plus 40 is 24.6. So you're going to continue this process using these numbers in the x values of both equations to determine the answers to the rest of this table. To figure out which data points the prediction based on line 1 is closer to the actual value than the prediction for line 2, we would figure out, okay, well, which sets of these are closer. So in that first one, well, line 1 is closer to that actual value. In the second one, well, 24.6 is closer to 21. So which data sets are closer to line 1 and which points are closer to line 2 is what information is going to go in this section for for part B. So we would say the point 27 is closer to line 1. We wouldn't use 22, 21 because that one's closer to line 2. And then in part C, it says which line 1 or line 2, would you select as a better fit? So you would check and see, well, are these values closer or are these values closer to our actual values here? To determine, well, which line was a better predictor? It looks like this first one might be closer, but then the second one is closer on line 2. So you're going to have to determine which one is a better fit and explain. I don't have the rest of that information, but you are responsible for filling in the rest of the table and finishing up part B and C.